Well, hello everyone. Father Hoffa here with your next installment of WWW Wednesday Walking with the Word here on the campus of Holy Family Senior Living up in Bethlehem. Blessed to serve on the board there. Just got done a board meeting. Realized, it's 20 of 4 already, and I haven't done Wednesday Walking with the Word. So what's going on today? It is the memorial of Saints Joachim and Anne, the parents of Mary, the grandparents of Jesus. And in our gospel today, we hear Jesus say that blessed are those who have heard and seen what they have seen, because there are those who wanted to see it but did not see it. And I think that one of the things that is hopeful to us is the fact that we are able to rest in God's promises. And when we hear those promises and see them come to fulfillment, it deepens our faith. And the blessing that we have is, 2,000 years of salvation history in the New Testament, and even, God's presence in the Old Testament for thousands of years before. And we're able to look back on the scriptures, and we're able to see and to hear all of the ways in which God is faithful. And I think in connecting that to grandparents, it was really neat. The other day on Facebook, I was able to see a post from a former parishioner who talked about the fact that, when they were married, in the final blessing, in the solemn blessing at the end, they talk about seeing their children's children. And these folks were actually able to see their grandchildren be married. And so talking about that faithfulness and God following through on his promises. And as we think about grandparents, in this past weekend, we prayed for grandparents and the elderly, gave them a special blessing. I think it's a reminder to us that one of the greatest gifts that we have from the elderly and from grandparents is to be able to see the worthwhile nature of sort of staying the course, of following through, because they have, and in their elder years, they're reaping the benefits and the results of their own faithfulness in seeing God's faithfulness. And so we can learn not only from God, but we can also learn from one another. And in learning from one another, we see those beautiful gifts of when we long for something, and not only just say, I want that, but when we actually put the time in to following through and doing what is necessary so that we get that which we want, there is really a great gift in that. And so for those who, are grandparents, they had to give of their time for their children. And then that poured into them finding their spouses, and then they had children. And generation after generation comes. And we even think about our own parents, grandparents, and even beyond that. We are the beneficiaries. Just as church, we are the beneficiaries of course, the life of Jesus Christ, all those dating back to the Old Testament, but all the way through until now, especially the saints. We are the beneficiaries of their faithfulness. We are also able to see what they've seen and hear what they've heard from God, because the same God who is faithful to them, faithful to us. So we learn from God always, but we can also learn from those who are older than us, those who especially have been part of our families, who have given us the gift of life, to be able to say, Mary and Joseph were beneficiaries from their upbringing. It was how Mary was able to say yes to God. It was because her fiat came from what her parents, Joachim and Anne, taught her, especially of the importance of committing to God's faithfulness. And Mary passed that on to Jesus. So it's because of Joachim and Anne that Jesus also had the upbringing that he had. And what a blessing that is. So we have that blessing as well. Let us continue to count our blessings and continue to thank God for the elderly and for our grandparents on this day where we celebrate Saints Joachim and Anne. This has been another installment of WWW Wednesday Walking with the Word. God bless you all, and we'll see you soon.